Hello, I'm J.F. Whitaker, author of The Day Before I Died. The Day Before I Died is my memoir, and it's the story of an innocent Irish Catholic boy on his journey to Vietnam and into reality when he came home from Vietnam. And part of that reality was that he was gay and hiding that secret for years and years and years. I'd like to share my coming out story with you if I could, because I had a mom and dad, 6 brothers, 3 sisters, and we were this large Irish Catholic family. Gay had never been uttered in my home prior to this moment. But on a hot Arizona summer day with the temperatures well over 100 degrees, I summoned mom and dad to the kitchen table to tell them. Stuttering and stammering, I stalled, talking about my physical condition, wondering why I felt so cold. Was I coming down with something? Dad finally said, "Stop stalling, out with it now," that ever so infamous now. Maybe it was just this one last time that I had to hear now. Maybe that word had always been for me to be in the now, as me, and not hiding. I blurted out, "I'm gay." Dad instantly responded, and I mean instantaneously responded, with, "You know I could have gone my whole life without hearing this." Silence. Then he said, "It's okay if it's a neighbor's kid. It's not okay if it's my kid." My perception of they needed to know, or they would want to know, might need recalculating. I had not taken a breath in the last 60 seconds, and this response justified the shivering. Mom didn't say a word. She slowly and softly rose from the table and moved to an adjoining family room where she began dusting. I was in a tomb of silence, only broken by the soft sound of a thick cloth brushing over a coffee table and end tables, and occasionally the psst from the can of pledge as Mom shined and re-shined dust-free furniture. Mom did not speak to me on this subject for 9 months. Our relationship was extremely functional. Hello, goodbye, when will you be visiting next? 9 months almost to the day, as if reliving my birth, I got a letter from Mom. The letter said, "You are my son, and I love you, but do not talk about this issue and do not joke about your lifestyle." Mom went on to say, "If you come to town and you are alone, you can stay at our house. If you come to town and you are with someone, get a hotel room." We developed coded communications around the gay issue. When I wanted to visit, I would call Mom and say, "I'm coming to town on such and such a date, and could I stay with you?" She would instantly know I was coming alone. When I would call and say, "Could you please make reservations at a nearby hotel?" she would know I was not coming alone. This worked, and we never mentioned gay or anything about me that was substantive or important. It was enough for me to recognize they did not want to know. They did not have to know, and they would have preferred to go to the graves not having to deal with this. I told them because it was important to me, and I wanted them to know so I could live. Sometime later, I was asked to participate in a workshop sponsored by the Gay Academic Union of one of the universities here in town, and PFLAG, Parents and Friends of Gays and Lesbians. The topic was the coming out process. And they asked if I'd ask the people that I came out to participate. So I asked Mom and Dad. After some time, they said yes. And they came to San Diego to participate in that workshop. We arrived at the college on the day of the workshop and were directed to the stage where we would be seated facing a crowd of strangers. We were the last family to share it, Dad first, me next, and Mom on the far right-hand side. As time wore on, she gradually fell apart. Quietly, she clutched a handkerchief that started out neatly ironed and folded and now looked like a raisin. Dad shared and said exactly what he said to me that day. "I could have gone my entire life without hearing this. It's okay if it's a neighbor's kid. It's not okay if it's my kid." Mom's sobs increased in volume as Dad shared. I shared, and I don't remember what I said. Now all eyes were on Mom. She was visibly distraught and wringing her hands around the mutilated and shredded hanky. Her head hung down almost to her lap, and she was silent. The auditorium followed suit and went silent for a brief second. I was reliving the silence of Vietnam just before the rockets hit. You could have heard a pin drop. After what seemed like an eternity, Mom raised her head, looked into the eyes of the audience, and with a forceful burst of anger said, "Well, I'm here, aren't I?" Not another word was spoken. After a few moments of stunned silence, the audience as one rose to their feet and gave Mom a standing ovation. Testimony to the courage and love it took just to show up. We don't have to be eloquent. We just need to show up for the ones we love. We still had much work to do, but the amazing revelation that day was that we had a chance. We might just make it through this struggle.